anger is good. Anger is healing, because underneath anger is so much other stuff. The anger has to come forth. And speaking from being a good girl, I was taught that anger is bad. Be polite, be kind, sit up, and don't be angry. And let me tell you, when I was healing the deepest part of this stuff within myself, there was a lot of anger. And I got to meet that part of myself. And that was so healing. That was so healing for the little girl inside of me that just wanted to scream at people when I was being abused, or I was feeling neglected and I was feeling left out. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Evangeline. We talk about spiritual awakening, inner child work, and self-development. I would love to know why you're here. Leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel. It's really gonna help the channel grow, as I would love to see you back here. Today, I'm giving you a sneak peek on the workshop I will be giving out very shortly. It's on September 12th. It's all about the good girl and good boy syndrome many of us grew up in. I put out a post a couple weeks ago just asking my audience on Facebook and Instagram about, how did they feel like they had to be good in order to be loved? How did they feel like they had to be good in order to have something? And I couldn't believe the response I had from you guys. So I'm putting it into a workshop. I will share about that in a little bit. And I'm also giving a sneak peek onto why this is so important. So I want you just to put yourself in the shoes of yourself, 10, 12, teenager, little kid, and you stepped out. You stepped out and you tried something new. You were fully expressive. You were just being a kid, but you received both positive and negative cues from your environment. Maybe someone told you you were silly for doing something. Maybe they told you you were stupid, or just shh, 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 like be quiet and sit down and you internalize that as, well, I can't be myself and I have to give my needs away in order to be loved. And as I was preparing for this video, I laughed with myself, remembering my own experience. There's so many different stories I could tell. If you've had childhood trauma, which I have had, there can be some pretty dark abuse that definitely made you feel like you had to be the good girl or nice guy. I want to share, though, just a lighter example, because I think a lot of people mistake that, okay, the trauma had to be really big in order for me to have issues as an adult. But when we feel like we have to give our needs away in order to be loved, and we become, people pleasers and empaths and feeling disconnected from ourselves, it could be, mommy just didn't tell me that she loved me growing up. She always said that I looked not beautiful. That impacts you. And your story is your story. You have a story. You grew up, and the way you grow up influences how you are in adulthood, which is why I'm so passionate about the inner child work. It saved my life. I was not doing well in my early 20s. Reconnecting with my inner child and learning how to heal my inner child is really what set me on the path I have today. Why I'm here speaking to you guys, because I want this to help you. So I want to share with you just an example, because when I was younger, I really wanted to be an actress. It was my dream. I had 2 younger brothers, and I would write out these scripts. We would film. My mom had this camcorder, right? I don't know if you guys remember that. It was early 2000s. And we would film each other, and they would have characters, I'd have a character, and we were really good. I was so passionate. I was so dramatic. I got all into it. And I remember being so excited and going to share this video that I made with my mom. And she views it and she's proud of me, but she has other people, friends in the room, and they meant well. This is the thing, guys, is that our parents, our caregivers, our teachers, anyone we looked up to as a kid, they can mean really well and have good intentions, but because of our innocency, the way we internalize things, it then forms our self-identity, it forms how we view ourselves, and that's showing up in adulthood. This is why this subject is so important, right? So I show this video, I am so proud of myself, okay? But some of the adults they start to laugh, they make jokes, and again, it meant well, but I internalized it as, well, this is stupid. And that dream kind of died. how it influences me today is, well, it's harder for me to speak up for myself. I've really had to learn how to speak up for myself and have boundaries. And, you know, if someone is to joke with me, do I just go along with the joke, or if it's against my values, do I say something different? And so I want you to look back in your memory clock and just, what kind of situation happened when you were little, you stepped out, and somebody made you feel like, oh, I can't be myself, and that's you internalizing and you growing up in that self-identity. Okay, and so by age 10, you and I knew that in order to be loved, there were situations that we had to give our needs away. And so what happens is we disconnect from our intuition. We see the world through the lens of our conditioning. Sometimes we see the world through the lens of our trauma, right? And so I shared the post on my social, Facebook and Instagram, just sharing, like, asking people for their experience. And if you want to leave a comment below about your story of, okay, this is what happened to me, I'd love to hear it. And there was an outpour of responses from my audience of just, well, this is how I felt, and this is how I felt. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. I have 8 different things that summarizes what everyone was talking about, and it just amazes me how both men and women, they would say a lot of the same things, just saying them differently. So that's why I've summarized it into 8 kind of categories that I want to share with you, and I just want to see if you resonate with them. And this video, again, it's a sneak peek for the workshop I'm doing, because the outpour was just huge, where I really felt called to do a 90-minute workshop. It's a training where we are going to transmute, clear, heal this part of ourselves, because when we have the good girl syndrome or the nice guy syndrome, it's showing up in how we make decisions, how we connect with our intuition, how we heal from our past, patterns, thought patterns, even intimacy, relationships, and what we're doing for work. And so you will see how it influences that by my list here. But below, I want to just share with you that the details for the workshop are below. It's called Transform, because we are transforming these inner wounds into inner strength and reconnecting yourself. And so I'm really, really excited. I'm excited to share it with you. If you feel called, please click the link below, register. It's on September 12th. You will have replay access. You'll also have, it's private portal where you're gonna be able to ask questions for a week after the training, which is amazing. So lots of value. You'll be walking away with tools to apply to your life, homework to do. I'm just really, really excited for the potency of this program. And so it's a $22 energy exchange. And I looked up the number 22, and 22 really signifies that whatever you're calling in, it's going to be your reality. So I want you to really think about, what do I want to call in through this workshop experience? Because it's going to show up for you. You do the work, you just show up, you allow me to guide you, and then I guide you back to yourself. That's what my goal is that I'm always helping people be guided back to their own intuition, your inner strength, your inner power. And so it would be an honor to have you inside. Feel free to sign up or email me if you have any questions. So this is from you guys, and this is what is so cool that I wanted to share this with you. Let me know what resonates. But the first one, the biggest one that people were saying was that the good girl syndrome, the nice guy syndrome really taught me how to ignore my intuition because it will make someone else uncomfortable. So, you know, I don't want to raise my hand and ask a question in class because it will make other people uncomfortable. Or I go to a family get-together and I don't really want to speak my truth because other people in the room have a very different belief system than I, and I don't want to disrupt them, right? A lot of us, we don't like confrontation. So we avoid it, and then we have all this built-up tension inside. That's like a boiling pot. I know that's what it is for me. Like, I've really had to learn to speak up. Do the thing my intuition is saying, even if it's crazy to everyone else, because it's always right, never steers me wrong. Okay, the second one, not knowing how to accept or receive love in a balanced way. Whew, that's huge. That one we are going to be digging into. right? If you are having really toxic relationships, whether it be intimacy or it could be sisterhood wounds, father wounds, we're going to be talking about how so many of us have a conditioned view of love. It's not even really authentic love. And so that might be something that you resonate with. Number 3 is being bullied into catering to do something. Okay, how many of us believe that, okay, we have to do this one thing or this bad thing will happen to us? So if you were a child and you were told, if you don't do this, something bad will happen to you, do you still believe that as an adult? Saying yes and then having regret, right? Putting everyone's needs ahead of your own, that can build up some really deep resentment. We want to clear that. We want to get to the root of that. Number 5, allowing harmful behavior because you're afraid you're going to lose love. So this also goes into the one about balanced love, right? You're in a relationship, it's toxic, it's unhealthy. Maybe your intuition is going, I deserve better, but, or maybe you believe you don't deserve better. And that's okay. We're going to love that part of you. I don't want you to stay there. You're so loved, you're so held, you're so protected. But I don't want you to stay there. So if you are feeling like you have to allow this harmful behavior to happen, we want to explore that. We want to explore that. Okay, number 6, codependency, which I have definitely lived in some codependency. I still feel it come up sometimes. I want to give you tools to recognize when it comes up, because you don't have to stay in that. And what codependency is feeling like you have to fix someone, right? Feeling like you have to stay in that harmful relationship because you'll lose love. But maybe you're also trying to think, or maybe you also believe that, okay, I have to fix them. I'm the only one that can fix them. And then the 8th is just, you didn't ask questions. You sit down, be quiet, don't talk. Okay? I want you to start to ask questions. I want you to lean into your dreams again. I want you to be bold, to learn how to respect yourself. When you learn how to respect yourself and have self-loving boundaries, you're going to want to give to others that does not have the people-pleasing attached to it. And it's so different. Now that I'm on the other side, like, it's like there was this fence, and on the other one side I was a people-pleaser, on the other side it's like, no, I know how to give. But I also know that I have boundaries where, you know, I'm not going to give when I need rest. I want to know how these resonate with you. Were there any that I missed that are just like screaming, like let it out, comment below. The reason why I really want to bring this topic into a workshop atmosphere is because it is connected to so many things. It's connected to your creativity, your dreams, your decision making, how you regulate your nervous system. Are you living in a lot of stress right now? I wanna help you transmute that. There is another way to live. And I'm speaking from a girl that people pleased, was burnt out like 3 times before I was 25. Really, really hard. And you do not, you know, I was waking up with panic in my chest. And there's another way to live. When I started to do the inner work, I started to sleep better. I started to have more purpose, have more motivation. And it was very hard though for me to navigate on my own in the beginning. So that's where I come in. That's why I'm here. I'm so passionate about this. I'd love to see you inside the Transform workshop. All the details are below. Sending you so much love. You do not have to just be nice anymore in order to be loved.